Hi there, welcome to another episode of Fully Booked to Bonkers, and I'm kicking the thing again. Alright, okay, we're starting off really badly, but it can only go up from here. Stop messing with my
Your set.
thing.
Okay, your props.
Anyway,
You caught me by surprise.
it's Halloween. We've gone forward in time. No, Ian just
Trying to
read the
ignore me.
book a lot faster than he normally does. Well, he's usually really busy and travelling and stuff, but you've had time to read.
I had time to read it and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
I've really got into this reading malarkey now. It's good fun.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
good fun.
And
So
you're going to review a book,
it's
the
my turn
last
tonight.
book that,
Yeah.
that he read.
Yes. That's
And it's a book written by a gentleman called Tom Boles, and he comes from Lennoxtown, north of Glasgow. And he's got loads of jobs, or he's.
You're going to have to refer
got-
to the notes.
I am, yeah. He's got lots of.
She's got his CV.
Yeah, he's an amateur astronomer, a discoverer of astronomical objects, an author, a broadcaster, and a retired computer engineer. It doesn't stop there, but it does for the moment. He actually has his own observatory.
Does he?
Yes. Well, he lives in Suffolk, in the southeast of
Suffolk.
England,
Suffolk.
and he has a little observatory, maybe in his garden shed.
Well, nothing bigger than our garden shed.
Well,
6x4 is not
ours is
very
the
accurate.
littlest shed there ever was. It's like baby shed.
Anyway, carry on.
And he has another claim to fame. He's actually the person who has discovered the highest number of supernovae, 155 at last count. And that makes him the most successful exploding star hunter in history. Imagine if you could put that on your CV. Like, oh, hi Tom, what do you do? Oh, who, me? I'm a hunter of exploding
You go to see
stars.
your options teacher at school. What do you want to do, Sam, when you leave
Oh
school?
yeah, I want to hunt
Oh, I
for
want to hunt stars.
exploding stars.
Brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
in reality,
Right, so
it
what
just
thing to
means
do?
that he's
It's
sitting
fantastic.
looking through his telescope. But in the future, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's zipping through the universe, hunting
his
for
raccoons and
exploding
things.
stars with his raccoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's other like. I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
You like anything to do with planets and stars, particularly?
I do. I
Yes,
do.
yes.
I do. I enjoy some science fiction and fun.
Yes, you do. But you do like the stars. You used to send me emails with pictures of, what was that eagle thing?
The nebula.
Oh, the Eagle Nebula or something.
Yeah. Tom's got lots of pictures of nebula on his Instagram account. Anyway, he's been a very busy man. He's been president of the British Astronomical Association and has co-authored 3 textbooks on popular astronomy, and he has a bachelor's degree as well as his astronomy, which is applied physics, really.
Okay, yeah.
He's also got a degree in biochemistry. So that makes him extremely well qualified to talk about not
Science
just
stuff.
the universe, but also all the science stuff, which I
Yeah.
believe is in his book.
It is. No, it is in his book. And one of the things to add as well is that the International Astronomical Union has named main belt asteroid 7648 Tom Boles in his honour.
Oh,
Happy days. So so it's a great book.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
it's
what's the
great
book?
This is the book. It's Dark Energy. Hopefully you can see that. Tom Boles. I didn't really know what to expect, but again, it was one of them books that I found on Facebook, on the book sites that we belong to.
Yeah.
And I saw it a few times, and the cover is quite engaging. And then the story was quite good. And last time I read an adventure novel like this, I suppose, was back in the early 80s. I think I read some Ian Fleming or something really early Ian Fleming as well.
Oh, okay.
So I normally go for police procedurals and things like that. So I thought, again, I'm getting into reading again, thanks to you. Well, actually, thanks to a lot of these Facebook sites as well, I see, because there's really loads of interesting stuff coming up. But, so I thought, okay, I'll do some research into the author, because I wanted to know a bit about, the story. Well, I sort of read the blurb on the story. Okay, that sounds good. What about the author? And then what you discovered, and then what I discovered. I thought, wow, this guy's,
Yeah, what an interesting character.
Yeah, so and if you can build things like that into the story, it'd be great. So yeah, and another thing to think about is that if you see the cover there, the A, which is not looking like an A, but is that replaces the A. That is actually the symbol. I'm going to have to read from my notes for this. It's actually the Greek letter lambda. I think I said that right. And it's used by physicists when describing dark energy. So there you go, another lesson. So the book itself, well, I loved it. I loved this book. It was fantastic. It was a fantastic book. It's an spy adventure novel.
This is your sort of, you described him as Indiana Jones crossed with James Bond.
Yeah. It's like the early Ian Fleming I read. So you've got a character who's not relying on any gadgetry.
Right. Okay.
You know, there's no quartermaster who's giving him all the stuff that the exploding watches and this kind of stuff,
okay.
and this kind of stuff. Hi Jeff. Hey, come and sit down. Right, okay.
There's always a dog.
There's always a dog somewhere. So he doesn't have all the gadgetry, so he relies. This is a character that relies on his charm and his wit and his can-do attitude to solve stuff. But still, of course, this guy Brad Willis is like a freelance guy because he's a scientist by trade. That's his day job. So for some reason, the guys at MI6, CIA, and all these other organisations have his details and know that he's the man to call it in a crisis which pertains to things like this. So
he's like your Robert Langdon sort of character.
Yeah, that sort of thing. That's exactly.
Okay.
So
there's a problem that the MI6 spooks and boffins can't handle.
Exactly.
So they phone him.
Yeah, exactly. So but they do that. So and again, because I said it's not kind of, I didn't really know what to expect. But the first thing is it is a fast-paced novel. Mm-hmm. So you can read it as quick as you want, but also someone who's a slow reader like me who really now has to make the time to read them.
Small chapters, big chapters?
There's a variation. You get small, you get big. I mean, they're not tomes of chapters you get in like Tolkien and things like that. They're still manageable. So like me, I would try and read maybe a couple of chapters a night before I go to bed. You know what I mean? If I'm not too tired. Whereas you would just sit here reading the book. And that's it. So you can do both.
Leave me alone.
And the good thing is you can read this a few chapters and then put it down and then pick it up the next night, not having to refer back pages. Where was I? So I quite like that about the book. So anyway,
easy to follow.
Brad Willis, this character, I know you don't really get to know a lot about this guy's backstory.
Okay.
Yes, but I believe. Well, I know it's a series of books as well, so maybe we'll know more about his backstory later on. Other than the fact that his wife, his dead wife, Carol, crops up a lot in the book as in comments and discussions and things like that. So, so she's never alive. No, she died in a car accident, and personally, I think there's more to it than just a car accident. But maybe they'll get to that. Anyway, there's no spoilers here. Yeah. But it kicks off really well because I like a book that within the first few chapters, or the first chapter or the first few pages, something's happened that's got you intrigued. It says, what's happening? Mm-hmm. So it sort of starts off at the CERN Hadron Collider, I believe, and it kicks off. Somebody's done bad things. Okay. Then it goes to Brad, who's your mild-mannered scientist of the day, just doing his thing, and he needs to get involved. So the story basically concerns scientific organisations getting attacked, blown up, scientists getting shot, etc., globally around the world. Okay. And then it's
like a conspiracy.
Yes, like a conspiracy. Yeah, definitely. And a lot of these people that have died, Brad Willis knows of. So because he was part of the scientific community. Okay. So, and obviously.
So he's got sort of personal reasons for being involved as well.
He's got some investment in it because of that, I suppose. So MI6 get involved, and he gets involved with MI6, and then he's got to go to America. I mean, this thing. I mean, if you want to read the book, you've got to take your passport.
Right. Okay.
Because it's like it's Berkeley in the States, and then it's Cambridge, and then it's London, and then it's Kazakhstan, and then it's the CERN Hadron Collider in CERN in Switzerland, and that. But I learnt a lot during reading it as well, because obviously Tom's referring to lots of scientific stuff in there, which is factual, and even the fictional part based on the facts, you think, shit, this could happen. You know, so it really is quite believable that unless you've got someone like Brad Willis who's going to defend everybody's honour and save the world, we could be in trouble if somebody wants to do something.
So there's no point in calling the local constabulary.
Yeah, you can call the plot, but they're just farming off to somebody else. You know. So yeah, it's really good to the point where it's flying about all over the place, and there's characters in there. There's the guy who gets perm-parred with from America, who's a real muppet. But you know, so there's a little bit. But Brad thinks he's a muppet as well, so there's a little bit of friction going on there. There's the ex-girlfriend who rocks up, you know what I mean, and so he doesn't remain the ex for too long. And there's some Russians that crop up as well, and which one can he trust? If he can trust any of them at all, because everybody's in on this thing, and they've got to find out what's happening, why it's happening, which they do eventually, and it makes perfect sense of. Yeah, this could happen, because I can only understand that the fictional story is based on the fact of what's going to happen. If somebody had the resources and the wherewithal and the knowledge, why couldn't they do these sort of things? So it was a fun story. It was a fun story. I've really rabbited on, haven't I? About it. So because I didn't expect it to be. I really didn't expect it to be. I just really didn't expect it to be. I just wanted to read it. You know, it's inspired me to read other stuff. So.
Well, yes, you bought another one, didn't you?
Yeah. It inspired me so much that I bought the next one, which is Shades of White by Tom Boles. So I've not even cracked the spine on it yet, just so you can take a peek. And
that's the same guy, isn't it? Brad Willis.
It's a Brad Willis adventure.
Right. Okay.
Tom Boles, yeah. It's just a great fun book to read. It can be read on the beach. It can be read in bed like I do. It can be read anywhere. And anybody could read it, really. It doesn't really matter.
Any age?
There is a couple of pages of romance in there, and as you know I'm quite romantic. I like to think so. I don't really read it, so I don't particularly want to read it. So there is a couple of pages, and I'll be honest, I have to skim them bits. Oh, yeah, okay, that's it. But otherwise, no, anyone could read it, and it's good fun, and I'm really looking forward to reading the next one, because I'm sure going to be fun, and it's. And we'll find out more about some historical stuff.
Yeah, and you do once you've read Shades of White, you can review that one.
Yeah, I'll definitely review Shades of White. But the great thing is that while I was looking for Shades of White,
you found other books.
I did.
I did. A parcel came, and I thought, what's this? Usually they're addressed to me, and I thought, it's addressed to Ian. What is that? And it was books.
And it was books.
3 books.
3 books that really
all at the same time.
Yeah.
And these are books that you've also discovered through the Facebook.
Through the Facebook pages, people advertising or reviews going on about stuff. And I never buy it straight away, because if it's something might attract my attention. And I think one of the authors actually I caught up with on Facebook had an author's day as well, and was promoting books, and also a bit about the author, which was really interesting. So you got to know a bit about the author. So that was this one. That was Maureen Fisher, and that says Horsing Around with Murder. I've read the first page, only the first page, just to see what happens. Somebody's dead already. In the first page. Oh my lord!
Brilliant.
So that one is getting read soon, and we'll get vlogged soon. And then the other one, which really intrigued me, is Robert Clark's Boringville. So that's going to be read soon, and a vlog and a review will be done.
Okay.
Now you can find all those reviews on
Fully Booked
and Bonkers. If you want to look at historical reviews, you can go to the BC Harris author website, and I'm on there, and on Fully Booked. But there was something else I was going to say, and it was just independent authors or self-published or whatever you want to call them on the Facebook page. Don't stop advertising your books.
No, you've got to keep doing it.
Keep doing it, because they caught my eye.
Eventually. Because you scroll through a lot of stuff, and then eventually when you keep seeing something, it does attract your attention. And you start reading people's comments, and then eventually you might go and start reading the reviews. And sometimes you just take a punt on something well, and I've never been disappointed.
No, exactly. So I will be sometime reading those books, though, because somebody's got me the manuscript to read for the 3rd time. I need to read it.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I promised
he's really anal as far as language and stuff is concerned. So he'll find all the little things that I've completely ignored in terms of editing
and stuff
it.
like that, and then everyone else is editing it as well. So that will take me a little while. So then I go into these books, but I'm really looking forward to them. So I'm sort of scratching, and I know you're pulling me away, so you've got to do my thing.
Well, you have to help me. You have to do it for me sometimes, baby.
Sorry, Robert and Maury. I get them. And Tom as well. But Tom, thanks very much for Dark Energy. I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, you want to read it. It's just good. It's just good fun. It's just a good fun. So, and what do you want to say now? What's happening next week?
We'll review a book next week. Who knows what it's going to be?
Okay.
It's going to be a surprise.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been good fun. Stay safe out there, and we shall see you next time we see you. Bye.
Bye.